Hi everyone, and welcome back to Cooking in Pink Boots. Well, here we go again with Mama Q's ear donuts. Although this time, we'll be enjoying them as a sweet and delicate chewy vessel for our creamy, custardy latiza filling, which is a local dessert on our island of Guam. And I'm also going to fill up some of my cotton soft yeast donuts with it too. And why not fill it with our favorite jelly as well, right? Okay, let's get started with the ingredients needed for a latiza filling. We'll need one 12-ounce can of evaporated milk and 3/4 of the same can of water, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 box of instant vanilla pudding, a 1-ounce box, 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and between a 1/2 to 1 cup of Cool Whip. And we'll also be needing about 1/3 cup of water to dilute our cornstarch. And now for our yeast dough. This is actually the exact same dough from my previous video, 3 pastries, so be sure to check it out for more sweet pastry ideas. And also, I'll leave the ingredients and measurements used on today's video in the description below. Alright, moving on with our dough. In a large bowl, add 1 cup of warm water between 110 and 115 degrees, 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, 4 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 large egg at room temperature, and mix vigorously until foamy bubbles appear at the top and your egg is well incorporated. Now add 3 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour along with 1 teaspoon of salt. Now combine all those ingredients. Then once a dough starts to form, continue mixing by using your hands. Now you can always use an electric mixer or a handheld mixer provided it has dough hooks, mixing at medium-low speed for about 5 to 7 minutes. But I'm going to demonstrate using my hands. Now once my dough has come together, I'm just going to cover it with a dishcloth for about 15 to 20 minutes to let our dough rest. Then add in 3 tablespoons of softened butter, and you want to massage it into your dough, getting it well combined for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then flour down a clean flat surface to keep your dough from sticking, and roughly knead your dough as seen in the video, slapping it down to the countertop, then folding, kneading, and repeating the steps for about 5 to 7 minutes. Now form into a smooth ball shape and place into a large ball that have been coated with oil. Then cover and place in a warm area for about an hour to rise, doubling in size. Oops, I almost forgot to cover my little pastry chef's dough as well. Now let's start on our latiza filling. First, in a small bowl, I'm combining 3 tablespoons of cornstarch with 1/3 cup of water, creating a slurry and setting it aside. Now to a cold medium saucepan, add in your can of evaporated milk, then filling it up 3/4 of the way with water and adding that in too. Now traditionally, we don't usually add pudding mix into our latiza, but Mama does and so do I, and it tastes so good. Now, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now you can add in an additional tablespoon of sugar if you like your pastries way more on the sweet side. Now whisk in all those ingredients and turn on your heat to medium high and continue whisking to prevent your milk from burning. Now just when it begins to boil, give your cornstarch 1 more quick whisk to be sure it's nice and smooth. Then slowly pour it into your latiza while whisking vigorously to prevent clumping. And right when it's about to boil and it thickens, remove it from the heat and continue to mix vigorously for about 2 minutes. Then transfer it to a bowl to cool at room temperature for about 20 minutes to reduce condensation in the refrigerator, where you will be placing it for about an hour or until chilled after the 20 minutes of cooling on the countertop. And once our latiza is nice and cold, we're going to add our Cool Whip, starting with 1/2 cup. Now, this is going to loosen the texture of our super thick latiza, but add a light, creamier taste. So be sure not to add in too much at a time because we want our latiza filling somewhat thick enough to hold together in our donuts. Now, just fold in your Cool Whip, Then fill your piping bags, or like what I have here, a reusable squeeze bottle. And if I may add, works great. Now just refrigerate till ready to use, and back to our dough. Now simply punch out the gas and transfer it onto your clean flat surface and roll out your dough. Really thin, like a pie crust, or about 1/8 of an inch. Now just cut them into little 2-inch squares and deep fry them, being sure your oil is hot and ready to go. Now keep your heat somewhere between medium to medium high to prevent burning. And once it puffs up on one side, flip it and continue to cook till golden brown. Then transfer to a cooling rack or a strainer and allow to cool before filling with your latiza cream. Then just sift over some powdered sugar and enjoy this sweet and creamy dessert pastry that is best served nice and fresh. Now, if I had to describe the flavors of this sweet, airy donut with a delicate light chew, filled with a sweet vanilla custardy latiza filling, the closest I can get is a funnel cake with Bavarian cream. Now, no more waiting for the fare to come in. All right, now for our latiza and jelly sugar donuts. Just roll out your dough, keeping it at about 1/2 inch thick, then using a biscuit cutter or even a glass cup or jar lid like I have here, and cut out your rings and place on a lightly floured pan. Then cover for about 15 minutes to slightly rise. Then, lightly coating my fingertips with flour to prevent sticking, I'm going to gently transfer them into my hot oil, being sure the temperature is set on medium to prevent burning, and just allow it to poof up and turn golden brown. Be sure not to add too much donuts at a time so you do not decrease the temperature of your oil. All right, now once nice and golden, transfer it to a cooling rack and allow it to cool completely. Then fill with your latiza filling, or by request from my little one, grape jelly. But really, you can fill it with blueberries or strawberries and whipped cream, or just about anything you want. But latiza, oh, that is mark number 1 in my book. Now just coat your latiza donut with a mixture of cinnamon and sugar, and sift some powdered sugar right over your fruit or jelly filled donuts. And it's time, yes, finally time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And believe me when I say it's all worth it. Once again, and thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you give it a try, and if you do, enjoy. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more upcoming food adventures with me, Charlene, from right here in my kitchen, where every day I'm cooking in pink boots. With her, of course. Bye.
Bye.